Give me a couple of minutes and I'll show you how to turn momentum into clean, rules-based trades without second guessing. The market leaves clues. You just need a simple checklist to read them. We'll use an improved MACD for the trigger, a baseline for trend, and a quick volume filter so we only act when the market can actually move. I'll set everything up with you, then walk through 2 long examples and 1 short, step by step, so you can copy the exact flow. We're on TradingView. Load any market you like. I'll demonstrate on Euro USD 5-minute, but the logic works on any instrument and any time frame. We'll combine 3 tools in a very specific way. MACD BB by Algocade, our entry confirmation trigger, SSL Hybrid by MACD, our trend baseline filter, and Volume by TradingView, our participation check to avoid dead periods. The trigger tells us when, the baseline tells us direction, and the volume check tells us whether the move has fuel. Now that the indicators are added, we'll move straight into configuring them. I'll explain what to change, why it matters, and how each piece fits the checklist. First, MACD, our trigger. Open Settings, Style, and uncheck everything except Plot and Zero Line. We want the dots and the axis, nothing else cluttering the signal. Here's the core logic we'll use the entire video. When the dots flip from red to green above the zero line, that's a valid long trigger. When they flip from green to red below the zero line, that's a valid short trigger. The above-below zero condition filters out weak flips with no real momentum. Second, SSL Hybrid, our trend/baseline. Open Settings, go to Style, and uncheck everything except MA Baseline. Then go to Inputs and set MA Baseline Length to 30 and MA Baseline Type to EMA. That makes the baseline responsive enough to reflect trend shifts without reacting to every small wiggle. From here on, direction is simple. If the price is above the baseline, often shows blue, we only look for longs. If price is below, often red, we only look for shorts. Third is Volume Indicator, our participation filter. Open Settings, Style, enable Volume MA, and set that MA color to white so it's easy to read. In Inputs, set MA length to 9. Our rule is binary. Only take trades when the current volume bar is above the volume MA. If it's below, we skip. Thin participation is where good ideas go to die. Quick heads up before we start placing trades. We'll keep risk math consistent at 1 to 1.5 risk to reward, so you can compare results across different market conditions. And every entry will be taken on the next candle open after all conditions align. Now that the settings are locked, we'll apply the exact checklist on real sequences. 2 longs first, then 1 short. Watch how the same structure repeats. Baseline for direction, MACD flip for timing, volume for permission. We start with the baseline and direction. The MA baseline is blue and price is trading above it. Bullish environment. For quality control, we need a pullback to the baseline, and during that pullback, the baseline must change color from blue to gray or red. If it stays blue the entire time, we skip the setup. No real test, no trade. After or at that touch, our trigger forms. MACD dots flip red, green while still above the zero line. Finally, check participation. The current volume bar is above the volume MA. All 4 conditions align on the same bar, so we enter long on the next candle open. The stop loss goes either just below the MA baseline or below the most recent swing low, whichever is wider. The take profit is set to 1.5 times of risk. That single bit of patience filters a surprising number of weak bounces. Again, baseline first. It's blue, and price is above it. We get a return to the baseline, and this time the line turns gray during the test. Perfect. That's our evidence of a real pullback. We don't jump early because momentum briefly fades. Instead, we let the MACD dots turn green above zero to confirm buyers are back in control. We glance at participation, volume bar above the MA, and with that, we enter on the next candle open. The stop is tucked below the pullback swing low to give the trade room. Target remains 1.5 times of risk. Price builds a small base, momentum holds, and the expansion pushes to target. Tip: If the flip happens while volume is still below its MA, wait 1 bar for volume to close above the MA. A 1 bar delay can dramatically improve entry quality without changing the system. Now we will flip the logic. The MA baseline is red and price is trading below it. Bearish environment. We want a pullback to the baseline, and during that pullback, the baseline should change from red to gray or blue. If it never changes and stays solid red throughout, skip. No proper mean reversion to fade. For timing, the AK MACD dots flip green to red while still below zero. That's bearish momentum resuming. Confirm participation. Volume bar should be above the MA. With all boxes ticked, we sell on the next candle open. The stop goes just above the MA baseline or above the most recent swing high, whichever is higher. Take profit is 1.5 times the risk. Price slides, MACD remains firm below zero, and the final push completes the target. Here's the connection you must keep every time. Baseline gives direction, AK late MACD gives timing above or below zero, and volume gives permission. Respect the baseline color change on the pullback. It's your built-in quality filter. Enter on the next candle once all conditions align. Use the whichever is wider stop rule, and stick to 1.5 times of risk so the math stays consistent. Losses will happen. That's normal. What pays is repeating the same high-quality decision over and over. Keep risk to 1% per trade. Trade the plan, not the impulse, and let consistency do the heavy lifting.